Good morning. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. Thank you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. I am the Reverend Christine Dance. I use she and her pronouns. We are so grateful to have our guest musicians here today. We've got Katie and Andrew Seifert, and they are opening us up with our opening hymn, Heart Wide Open by Leah Morris.
Good morning. Let's go ahead and stand. We're going to move our bodies on this one. Goes like this. Keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open until your faith brings you back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open, though the waves wanna push me around. I've got to keep my heart wide open till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Now we're gonna sing We've got to keep our hearts wide open, though the waves wanna push us around. Though the waves wanna push us around. We've got to keep our hearts wide open till our faith brings us back to solid ground.
Till our faith brings us back to solid ground.
We've got to keep our hearts wide open, though the waves wanna push us around.
Though the waves wanna push us around.
We've got to keep our hearts wide open till our faith brings us back to solid ground.
Till our faith
brings us back to solid ground.
Till our faith brings us back to solid ground.
Till our faith brings us back
to
solid ground.
Till our faith brings us back to solid ground.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. My name is Amy McKlindon. I use she, her pronouns. And please join me to recite our covenant as Jarrett Ransom lights our chalice. If you are watching remotely and have a chalice with you, please light it with us. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to share our strength in fellowship, thus do we covenant. Please be seated.
Welcome, welcome to our service in this sacred space, in this sacred time. We celebrate our humanity, our diversity, and the boundless love, yes, love, not hate, that unites us all. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix strives to be a spiritual community for our time, one that is theologically diverse, radically inclusive, and justice-centered. Our doors swing wide open to all who are seeking a welcoming place. May our worship today be a source of inspiration, a comfort in challenging times, and a call to action. If you are new here, anyone new here today? I met a few of you out in the front. Welcome, welcome. We are so glad that you found us. Each Sunday is different here, so come back a few times to really get to know us. I have a few announcements. You may have seen an email that went out on Thursday morning letting you know that Katie Resendez is stepping down from her Director of Children's Ministries position. We are having a gathering here in the sanctuary at noon after service where we can hold some emotions around this, but also talk about what comes next. We'll keep it to just 1 hour. We know that stomachs will be hungry and everyone is welcome. And then I would like to invite Bunny Hodis up here today. You all, the Johnson Room was opened last week, and this week it's got tables in it, and it is beautiful. We could not have done this work. We could not have done so many things the last several years, but we could not have done this work specifically without Bunny. We have a new wall here with storage. We've got a comfort corner that we're still working on, and we're going to live into that in the coming weeks. The Johnson Room, we've got new floors down in 12 and 15, and our space is way more beautiful, accessible, rentable, and the feedback we heard the most from our journey into our mission work is the most inaccessible and inhospitable place on campus was our community space. It is not that any longer. And this could not have happened without Bunny's vision. She was our construction manager. She was our cost manager. There is no one else who could have done this the way that she did. And we have a card for you. We have a gift card for your favorite place. And
Oh my goodness.
we have a present for you. You want to open it real quick?
And it's purple.
It is purple wrapping. It is.
Good. All right. It's not a hammer?
It's not a hammer. It is not flooring. I don't
No
actually.
overalls?
No, it is not construction. We should have maybe had a thought of how to do this earlier. Okay, I'm going to tell you everyone, and then she can open it because it's also, it is a lamp that is bunny oriented. And it's fabulous, and it reflects her sense of style. And I hope that when you have it, it will be a reminder of how much gratitude we've got for you. Thank you. Can we have a round of applause for Bunny Hodis? Thank you very, very much. And now let us draw. You can keep it here, take it down, whatever you want. It's all good. Perfect. Let us draw deeper into the present moment. Let's take a breath and come into our worship time.
Our opening words are from Pat Uribe Lichty. We gather. We bring our sorrows, our disappointments, our failures. We gather for healing, for laughter, and rejoice. We gather to find new ways of loving, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. Yes, gather. Yes, always we gather, for it is in gathering that we find our hope.
This service is a little different, partly because of the very strange times that we are finding ourselves in. I decided early on that we needed 2 weeks of water communion energy for this year. We need as much water nourishing us in these times as possible. And because hope is a challenge to find sometimes, this service is centered around a poem by John Roedel that we'll be sharing during the meditation time. If you will, the poem is the sacred text upon which this service rests. The other role of the water communion is celebrating the beginning of the program year and coming back together, even though many of us and many of you have been together all summer. To that end, I want to share a video from our denomination, the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. It is important to know that we are not on this journey alone, that we have structure, inspired people, and congregations all across the country with the same hopes, dreams, and values that we have. Sit back and enjoy this message from our denomination.
Greetings, beloveds. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sofia Betancourt, and it remains my privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. As we gather at the beginning of a new congregational year, we know that our shared ministries unfold in challenging and complex times. Yet we also know that our tradition teaches that love's reach is expansive enough to include everyone, that no one is excluded from worth and dignity, and that this love that we put at the center of our faith has the power to overcome the fear that silences and stills us. As my colleague C.B. Beale has said, we must be intentional about moving fear out of the center and replacing it with love over and over again, as often as is necessary. May we continue to do this work of centering love across our faith and in our own communities, and in all that this congregational year may bring. May we lift one another up as we continue to meet this moment together.
Where we are in Unitarian Universalism in this moment is unique. We've named and claimed a set of shared values that define us and that can help us live into a faithful engagement with the values themselves.
Well, I think people aren't looking for answers, right? But they're looking for authentic community, moral grounding, and a vision, right? Rooted in hope and action. So I think right now, our values compel us, all of us, not just us ministers, but lay leaders and congregants alike, to speak uncomfortable truths and to hold space for healing at the same time.
It's more important than ever for our congregations and our buildings to be a sanctuary of radical welcome. We need to be asking, what are your access needs? What do you need to be included here? Because we need each other. We need everyone.
One of the ways we do that, I think, in congregations is creating communities of collective care, doubling down on our efforts to check in on one another. Sometimes that's cards and calls and meals, and sometimes it's much more than that, showing up for our partners in the community and those collective circles of care.
And when you fall in love with our justice movements and the people who power them, I think we find that together we are stronger, we're larger, we're more generous, and more connected.
At a moment when the world is in denial of the sacredness of all life, the democratic process, and of the need to deal with change, that we have to stand firm as UUs and stand on our moral ground, stand on what we believe, and we have to get into the fight, and we have to lead the fight from that place.
I believe that one of our most pressing tasks as Unitarian Universalists is to claim religion loudly, boldly, unapologetically, in public, and join together with other liberal religions to tell a different story of faith from the one that white Christian nationalists are telling. They have spent decades twisting and perverting religion, poisoning people with a theology of scarcity and fear, all for the sake of building political power. It is essential for us to not cede religion to the far right.
In big and small ways, we need to be continually asking ourselves, what is love calling me to do in this moment? What is love calling my congregation to do?
And I really do believe that is our universalist core that says there's no one outside of the circle of love, and we're going to fight for every single one of us, because collective liberation is the vision that flows from the belief that love is at the center.
Program year. And can we invite now anyone who wants to come forward for our Together time with our Director of Children's Ministries, Katie Resendez.
Good morning, everyone. I get to say this 2 more times. My name is Katie Resendez, and I'm the Director of Children's Ministry here at UUC Phoenix. Okay, you clapped this week. That means you're not allowed to next week. Deal? Okay. You all made a promise just now. Let's tell a quick story today, and it's a quick story because it's based on a story we've already told. This summer, we talked about the people who built the lighthouse, right? We remember that they came from places that were hard to live in, that wouldn't let them be there anymore, that were untenable. It was impossible to live there anymore. And they traveled across the seas, and some of them landed peacefully on this isthmus of land. Some of them crashed upon the rocks, and they chose to live there and flourish there. And with their hands, they built a lighthouse, not only to warn people of the danger, but also so people would know there was safe harbor. Remember that story? We talked about them stacking the rocks and learning from one another. And then once they had built the lighthouse, they realized they had all of these skills, and they couldn't just keep them in their own village and in their own lighthouse. They had to set sail again. You remember that story? Okay, let's talk about part of the story that we didn't tell yet, which is when they were on the water, before they found that safe harbor, that land. They had set off from countries and villages and towns and communities that had rejected them, where it was too hard and too much, where life wasn't open for them. And they decided to take to the seas and get in these boats, and they sailed on these boats, and they had no idea where they were going. We love to talk about journeys as, oh, there's a light ahead, and I'm holding out for, sometimes we say the light at the end of the tunnel, but that's not a dangerous, or not a safe one to follow. But we do say, I see the light in front of me, I know where I'm headed. These people did not. All they knew was that they were on boats and they were on the ocean. And they didn't know if there was something better out there. And there was, which is wonderful. But can you imagine being on a boat? Some of you are on little rowboats with just 4 or 5 people. Some of you are on huge barges that have cabin rooms. Some of you are just on rafts on the ocean. And you know that it's not the terribleness that you came from, but at night when there are storms and the waves are crashing and there's lightning all around you, it's hard to feel like this is something better than where you came from. And when you get hungry and realize that the bag of crackers you brought is not going to carry you, and you have to go find the grandma on the boat because you know that she packed enough food for everyone for 8 months. It can be scary, and it can feel like maybe you're not independent anymore. And if you're grown, you can feel like maybe I'm not an adult. And if you're a kid, you can feel like maybe people aren't looking out for me the way they're supposed to. And it gets scary. But we also know the people on that boat survived. And they survived because it isn't always about you being able to see that light and to know the land is there and to have that hopeful thing. Sometimes it's about that grandma with the backpack full of food who knew that she was going to have 50 people to feed. Sometimes it's about the fact that there's a little kid who knows how to catch and gut a fish. And most of all, sometimes it's about those days where even though everything is scary, you have no idea what's coming next, and you feel like you have no resources, you still take a moment to lay on the raft and feel the sun hit you and dip your toes in the water and listen for the dolphins calling and feel that you are still there and you are held and you are carried. Thank you.
Each week, we split our offering between this congregation and an organization that shares our values. For September, our Share the Plate partner is Gabriel's Angels, and today we are fortunate to have two of their pairs here with us and Katie Hansen, who is the Director of Development, to tell us more about this great organization. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you to your congregation for inviting us here to learn about Gabriel's Angels. I'm going to have Deb come up and Joanne come up too. This is Leo, who is an English cream, and we have a beautiful Zoe also, and they are part of our pet therapy teams. I want to just see a show of hands. How many of you have had some positive support and comfort from either an animal or a pet? Let me just see a show of hands. So we know empirically that pet therapy really does help with anxiety. It helps people to feel more socially accepted. It helps to alleviate depression. And this is really living truth. I'm going to tell you just two quick stories about what we do in the classrooms and in the organizations that we serve. And by the way, everything we do is completely free. It's paid for by all the generous donations and grants in our community that make this happen. And this year alone, we served over 9,800 youth. We had over 1,400 pet therapy visits. And we currently have 115 pet therapy teams like Joanne and Deborah and Leo and Zoe. And we also have 24 helping hands that go along. So you don't have to have a dog to join us. You can also volunteer that way as well. Let me just tell you a quick story about how impactful pet therapy can be. It can help improve reading scores and fluency with kids who feel like they can never get ahead. It also does away with something very ironic in our society today. They're called ACEs. ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. We've all had some adverse childhood experiences, but many children nowadays are experiencing so many that it dramatically affects their life. Trauma, drug abuse, addiction. We have all kinds of mental illness in our society. But we know with our pet therapy teams, when we go in and meet with our children and our youth, that we can have a positive effect and erase these ACEs. I'll tell you a quick little story about a little boy. I have to change his name because he was in foster care, so I'm going to call him Damon. Damon was in foster care. He was acting out quite a bit. He didn't really want to go to school, and he also was diagnosed with leukemia. And so his caseworker contacted us and said, you know, we'd love to have you come out with one of your teams. So over the course of the semester, we had a pet therapy team working with Damon, and it got to the point where he was actually getting sicker, but he was always looking forward to coming and seeing the pets, the dog therapy team that would come every week to his school. And so one day he just could barely get out of his room, and his mother, his caregiver at the time, he said, is this the day when the pet therapy dogs come, when my dogs come? And she said, yes. And so he said, you know what, I really want to go to school. And so he got up and he came to school, and he came to school again and again and again, even though he felt so weak. And he has made a tremendous improvement, I think, just because he knows that, first of all, someone cares, that there's a dog that loves him every week, and there's somebody that's going to show up. I was also talking with Joanne about one of the experiences she had with Zoe, and she was sharing with me that there was a little girl who never talked in school. We've all probably seen those children where they just kind of hover in the corner. They don't really get noticed. They somehow get passed over. Well, she was not able, apparently, to participate much. And Joanne, correct me if I'm wrong, but once Zoe started working with her, she started to really respond. And sometimes what we might think isn't that great of a response is a huge hurdle for someone. Starting to interact, starting to throw a little ball to Zoe and have her return it. These are things that are really, really important. And again, they help to do away with these adverse childhood experiences that our children are facing in the world today. I know we only have a few minutes today, but I want to just let you know how very, very proud we are to be out in the community. We have over 69 Title I schools that we visit, over 103 partner organizations, and over 30 nonprofit youth-serving organizations. And we do that because of people like you, generous people that want to help in the community and want to continue for little Damians and our little girl who wanted to talk but couldn't, to really have a shot at life and to have success in her life and in her education. So I thank you today for having us, for letting us tell a little bit about us. We would encourage you to visit our website. It's gabrielsangels.org. We also have a big gala coming up in November 15th, we'd love for you to be part of. And we just want you to know how very much we appreciate you being concerned about what we do in the community. This is our 25th year for Gabriel's Angels, so we're very excited about celebrating that and continuing to do the work we do for the next 25 years. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here with this morning, and thank you all for all that you give. We are so very grateful. Ushers, thank you for your hands in passing the plate.
you, Katie. We recognize that our lives are interconnected, and part of our journey as a community is sharing our significant milestones, our joys, and our sorrows. For those who are online, first of all, hi, we love you. And if you want to put a joy or a sorrow, you can put it in the chat. Or those in the room, if you want something for next week, there's a table just there in the back with cards. So we have several joys and sorrows, partly because also we did not do it last week for water communion. We have one from Joan Gale online, and Joan says she's got a sorrow. A dear friend, Tracy, died unexpectedly on Wednesday. I already miss her energy and her laughter. And from Stephanie, is that our Stephanie? We don't normally say you can do one for another one, but Katie's birthday is on Wednesday. And I'm gonna say thank you, Stephanie, for reminding us that Katie's birthday is on Wednesday. We have one from Frances Wiggett and Lynn McVean right back there. Lynn stepped out, but we will tell her. So yesterday was both Lynn and Frances's 5th and 25th anniversary. Yes, they got married 25 years ago on September 13th, and then they got married again 5 years ago. I got the pleasure of officiating that during COVID, and Frances reminds me, and they remind me that that was my first wedding here at UUCP. Happy anniversary. From Chris Seashore, a sorrow. A dear Lexington friend, Mark Metzger, died last week in a boating accident. My former congregation is grieving. Mark was a generous-minded man who always wore red suspenders and bow ties. He taught me everything about welcoming. And I have several from our community. I wanted to let you know that Walt Doherty was hospitalized a few weeks ago. He fell at home, and a few days later, a friend suggested that he go to the hospital because of some coordination issues. It turns out that he had a hematoma on the back of his skull. After emergency surgery to drain it and another surgery a couple days later, he is home and recovering, and we are so grateful for his friend. And for those of you who know how many times Walt has brought roses into service and handed them out, we sent him roses for his healing. Pete Creelman wants to share that he will begin treatment for prostate cancer on Monday. He is beginning a 28 treatment session using tomotherapy radiation oncology equipment. He is expecting good results from these treatments and appreciates any good energy you can send him. And we wanted to give you an update on Val Wiley. She continues to have challenges in her recovery. During her transport to a rehab facility, she fell, and medical teams found some tumors in her brain. So they have been removed, and she is recovering at Chandler Regional Hospital. She continues to have a lot of visitors from UUCP, and she is in good spirits, and I appreciate us all holding her in our heart. So may our joys and sorrows, those named, and the so many more we know that we hold in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, help us draw closer and care for one another. I invite you this week to a time of meditation and prayer. And my beloveds, we need it this week. What a week this has been in our world, in our communities, hasn't it? This service is called Hope is a River, based on a poem by the poet John Roedel. In a time when many are feeling hopeless, this poem helped refrain hope for me And it ties along so well with Katie's story about sometimes just being held by the water. I invite you to settle into your seat. Put your feet on the floor. Take a few deep breaths if that feels comfortable for you. Follow along with this poem with the words on the screen, or close your eyes and let the words soak into you. Either way, let this poem minister to you. Hope is a River by John Roedel. I had been carrying hope in my pocket like it was a polished gemstone for years. Whenever trouble came, I'd squeeze hope tightly in my shaking hand, and I could feel it bump against my palm like a newborn heartbeat. That's how I knew I was safe. Recently, though, I somehow lost my hope. I have no idea if I put it down somewhere or it slipped out while I was fumbling for my keys. Without being able to hold on to hope, I soon became lost myself. After a while of wandering in the wild on my own, I bumped into Hope, who looked so different. Hope was no longer a little gemstone that could fit in my pants pocket. Hope was now a wide stream cutting through the woods. I thought I lost you, I admonished. The river grabbed a couple of rainbow trout and used them to smile at me. Lost me, the water babbled. That's impossible. Well, 1 minute I was holding on to you, and the next you were gone. I needed to change forms, Hope replied. Why? I asked. Because you've been carrying me for so long that I decided we should try something different. What's that? I thought I would take a turn carrying you for a bit. The river rose up around me and pulled me gently onto my back. I was floating. I didn't realize how exhausted I was until the river carried me. The river held me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me. Now, whenever trouble comes, I just spread my arms open and let hope wrap me up in her slow water. And I can still feel it pulse against me like a newborn heartbeat. That's how I know that I'm safe again. I don't know where we are going, Hope and I. Hope and I still appear to be so lost, but at least we are together. Maybe we will stay out here without a map for a while longer. Funny enough, I'm in no rush to get to our destination because it has been so long since I've felt held by anything. And now I think I could really start to get used to it.
Sound check. We're going to sing this song that came to me at the start of the pandemic and is still medicine I've reached to quite often. And so I'm going to kind of like show you where the notes go to teach it to you in case it's new to you. So we'll sing it a couple times through, and then we'll really let the instruments lead us. It's a meditative song. It's a chant, so it's a bit repetitive. But it goes like this. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows, the way. Sing with me. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. Let's go ahead and stand together. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. Don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. Let's do it one more time. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel your way. The way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. The way knows the way. The way knows the way.
For the last several years, I've joined my partner and his extended family on their annual boat day. Along with his siblings and their families, we rent a boat for the day on Lake Pleasant. We are like the grandmas in Together Time, and we bring way too much food with us for one day on the water. This past year, my sister-in-law brought the largest Ziploc bag I've ever seen. Like seriously, I've never seen one that large, and it was filled with grapes. And we spend the day cruising around different parts of the lake and stopping frequently for different portions of our group to put on their life vests and hop out of the boat into the refreshing water. At least a couple adults always stay on the boat to ensure that the boat doesn't drift too close to the shore while the others are out having a great time. This year, we even saw and heard wild burros, which was amazing. And then when we come home, I always sleep so soundly after my day in the sunshine. I'm sharing this partly because of the water connection, but also because it reminded me of a clip I saw recently in which author and activist Glennon Doyle was speaking with an audience about what it means to be in the resistance. She talked about, rather than thinking of it as the resistance, to think about all of us being part of the river of love and justice and shared humanity. And on that river, there are many different boats, each championing a specific cause, with crews that work closely together and follow the lead of the experts who have been captaining their boats for a very long time. And they all take time to enjoy and have fun along the way, and they cheer on the other boats in their own journeys. She implored her audience to get off the shore and get into a boat. And my family's boat day is very much aligned with this metaphor and connected with where I'm drawing hope these days. It's coming together with people you love and who share a common interest. It's putting on your life vest for self-care and making sure others have theirs on as well. It's trusting in and supporting your boat captain and knowing that you don't need to know how to drive the boat, but you can make sure that they are well-fed and supported and never alone. It's taking time to cool off and play. It's continuing to move forward and resting at the end of a long day to be ready for the next one.
We're going to sing a song by Coco Love Alcorn called The River, so fitting for our water theme this morning. And I'd like to teach you the chorus so you can join us in singing. You all have such wonderful voices, and it's such medicine to sing together, but it goes like this. Repeat after me. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. Repeat that. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water. When I go down, down to the water. By the water I feel whole. Repeat. By the water I feel whole. Yeah, you got it. You'll know when the chorus starts. River is a sage. The river knows no ending. The river feels no age. The river is a leader every single day. It's living in the moment and it always finds a way. Join with us. Water, heal my body. Water, heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole.
when I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by water I feel whole. Water heal my body, water heal my soul. When I go down, down to the water, by water I feel whole. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole. When I go down, down to the water, by the water I feel whole.
Katie and Andrew, thank you so much. In a service that's about healing and hope, your music is such a balm. Need to change glasses. I keep forgetting I'm blind. I want to tell you a story about this year's election. We opened the sanctuary for anyone who wanted to show up on the evening after the election. We didn't know what could happen, but knowing that we were a mess after the last Trump election, I wanted us to be prepared to make space for the heartache, the dread, and despair. About 40 of us showed up. Anyone here there for that? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of faces there. We held space. Some people cried. Some yelled. Some named their fears. Some were able to just sit in it. It is fair to say that we were a group that was experiencing quite a bit of hopelessness. At the end of our time together, there were a lot of hugs. And I heard over and over again, "Thank you, I needed that." Now, did hope magically appear from those 2 hours? No, not at all. Did the world magically change? No. But what happened is that we didn't have to hold it all alone. We could let the waters of community just hold us for a minute, knowing we weren't alone. The hopelessness didn't change. The way we were holding it did. I think hope is a very misunderstood concept. We often say, "Have hope," or "I'm trying to find hope." When someone is really sick, people can say, "Don't give up hope." The way we throw the word hope around these days make it feel like it's something tangible, a concrete destination, this obscure concept that we're supposed to find or search for or locate or hold on to. But I've never encountered that. I've never been able to "Oh, there it is. Oh, there's hope. Oh, there you are. I was looking for you. There's hope. Ta-da!" Anyone have that happen for them? Good, that makes me feel not alone too. No, hope is not something outside of us that we suddenly find. And for Unitarian Universalists, the expression, "you just have to have faith," is equally obscure. We're the people of questions. Faith in what? Faith in whom? Where do we find this faith? If someone says, "just have faith," we are much more likely to have more questions than answers. And it doesn't bring us the same kind of comfort to just turn over our concerns to some oblique deity that will solve our problems. Sometimes I'm jealous of people who can do that, but not for long. My faith is much more complex and nuanced. And for me, it feels more real. And I like it that way. But then, what are we supposed to do when we feel hopeless? And I didn't think the country or the world would give us such tangible ways to struggle with hope this week, this year, this decade. Another school shooting. A political assassination with some very complex feelings. A Supreme Court ruling that makes the marginalized even more marginalized. Hateful rhetoric that has even more fuel than ever. How are we supposed to just turn a corner and just find hope with all of that? So John Roedel's poem suggesting that hope is a river really called to me. Rather than a destination, the poem tells me to stop trying to carry the heaviness of hope alone and let it carry me. Stop trying to solve all of the issues myself and let me be carried by the stream. Hope is not something we can carry or search for outside of ourselves. No, it is something inside of us, something around us that we need to tap into. It is something that we can only find if we stop the struggle to hold it all ourselves. And I believe it is something that we can only do collectively. The same way that I can't be held by just one drop of water, I can't hold hope all by myself. If I look at hope individually, I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like I could never do enough. I could never be enough. I feel like it is impossible. But when I relax and let hope carry me, I realize that I've never let go of hope. Discouragement. It's similar to hopelessness, not exactly the same, but discouragement literally means against the heart. The French word for heart is, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, cœur. Somebody say in French the word cœur. Cœur. There's a lot of vowels in it. Discours means against the heart, or even anti-heart. For hopelessness and discouragement to take over, our heart needs to be disconnected. It reasons then that the way to put hope and encouragement back is to let heart lead the way. In Unitarian Universalism, we say that love is in the center of all we do. We heard that from our denominational president and all of those others. We often think of that in the outward way as well. We are extending love outwards. But what if we truly think of it as our center as well? That love needs to be in our core to survive in this world. That instead of discord or unheart, we can think of in-core, engaged heart, encouragement, or even re-hearted. Our heart is what is engaged when we embody hope. And I can feel that activated when I do things that make me feel hopeful. If I didn't have hope with love at the center, I wouldn't be organizing with others to help migrants get their power of attorneys together to help protect their kids last weekend. I wouldn't have shown up with dozens of other activists to tell a conservative board member that his attack on land recognitions was just bullcocky. or I wouldn't have seen hundreds of people joining already existing community organizations, those boats that Glennon Doyle says at last weekend's Resistance Fair at our UU congregation in Chandler. If I didn't have hope with love at the center, I wouldn't be so eager to come and join you every Sunday to get together, sing together, smile at each other, ask how your family is doing. If I didn't have hope with love at the center, I wouldn't be so compelled to check on our elders, send flowers to one who sends and gives us flowers, to give a hug in the hallway. I know that hope exists when I see a baby smile, when I see children hugging each other, when I see anyone helping another person. I see hope every time I hear about an act of resistance, like this week, the citizens of Rochester, New York, who didn't let ICE get to the migrant workers who were working on tiling a house. They wouldn't let them come down off of the roof, and they protected the space so they couldn't get down there. The migrants refused to come down and be complicit in their own oppression, and the community came out to affirm that, and ICE, in their masks, went home. And don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of times that I am still picking up that stone of hope and carrying it by myself. But then I remember that I am not carrying it all by myself. The perfect metaphor is a relay race. I'll carry the baton for some of the race, but then I hand it off to somebody else who's got more energy. Or when a choir sings and you stagger your breathing. Not everyone breathes at the same time. Another person breathes while someone else sings, and collectively the music stays uninterrupted. Hope needs to be held with others so that we're not carrying the stone by ourselves. Communities are a source of hope. Even when you are feeling hopeless, there will certainly be someone here who has a little bit more that they can share. And even when you are in the pit of despair, you can find someone who has a little bit more and share that space with them. Hope is a river. Hope can hold you. It can buoy you, and it can buoy others at the same time. Water is like that. I can float and be held up by the water, and other people can too. It can still hold all of us up. One of us doesn't sink because the water is already full, right? It actually rises and supports more of us. We don't have to reach the destination. We don't have to carry the stone alone. For just a minute, we can let go and let the river of hope hold us. And together, we can continue to go downstream to the future that we refuse to let go of. May the stream hold you. May the community buoy you. May the heaviness lift, even if for a short time. May love be the center of your hope. May hope be a river in your life. So might it be. And of course, it is fitting that we have Katie and Andrew close us with "There's a River Flowing in My Soul." Feel the buoying of that. Please rise in body or spirit.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river
Thank you so much, Katie and Andrew. Really, really beautiful. After our service ends today, noon activities will be listed on the screen behind me. A reminder, at noon, there's a meeting about children's ministries here in the sanctuary. And our newly renovated Johnson Room is open for coffee hour with refreshments, tables, and chairs. Rev. Christine, please close our service.
From the poem. The river rose up around me and pulled me gently onto my back. I was floating. I didn't realize how exhausted I was until the river held me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me, and hope carried me. Go in peace, go in love, go in hope.